Good morning. This is Robin from Hope from the Well, and I'm so glad to have with me today Pattie Bell. Pattie is one of our ladies that comes up every week, and she's been doing this, what, Pattie?
3 years.
3 years now. And she comes up to help us learn to sew, and she has taught us so much, and I can't wait for you to hear of Pattie and how God brought her up here even. I think it was a God thing, Miss Pattie, that you're even up here. But I want to share with you some things that are coming up with Women at the Well. Oh, and by the way, if you're on YouTube, we are sitting in one of the bedrooms of the Made Well Retreat Center. And we have 3 beds in this room, and you can see that. So this is one of the rooms, if you chose to do a retreat here, you would stay in. But we have coming up on February the 25th our annual Polar Bear Walk, and that will start at 11, and it will be at Athens Regional Park by the Duck Pond. And so you may be getting a letter in the days to come, because we just mailed those. So what you do is you can sponsor a lady for $25. Or you can sponsor the whole group for $300 if you'd like. So just remember that, February the 25th, our annual Polar Bear Walk. And if you'd like to sponsor, just give us a call here at Women at the Well, 423-745-0010, and we can take that over the phone. Or we have other means to pay if you'd like to help sponsor that event. So I have with me today one of the things that we make here at Women at the Well, and it is a little bunny rabbit, not little, pretty good size bunny rabbit. And you can see if you're looking on YouTube, it's so cute. It's got a little tail, little cotton tail, and so we're making these for upcoming spring, for Easter. Great gifts for kids if you want to do that. Well, Miss Pattie, I just want to let you share with us what made you decide that you would like to come up to Women at the Well and help us sew.
Okay, during COVID, I saw on Facebook where Women at the Well were making masks. And I was just so excited that they were sewing. And I don't think they even knew how, but they were doing it anyway. And they were giving them away and donating them just all over the place. And then one week I saw a quilt that one of the girls had made, and I don't think she'd ever made a quilt before. And she did a great job, but I noticed that the binding was about that wide. And for those of you who quilt, you know that you have just about a ½ inch binding. And so I called Miss Robin and I said, Robin, I noticed that you've started quilting. Some of the girls are quilting now, and I would love to show them how to put the binding on a quilt. And she said, oh, that's a great idea. And she said they struggled with that, and so I'd be glad for you to come up. And so I came. That first week I had just one person and that had made the quilt, and I taught her how to put on a binding. And it took me a long time to learn how to put on a binding and to get it down pat. But I don't mind to do that at all anymore now that I know the technique. So that week I had one, and they said, oh, will you come back again next week? So I came back the next week, and there was 3 girls. And then I came back the next week, and there was 11 girls. And it was just me, and I was trying to work with 11 girls at one time, and that was pretty hard. Because it's really good if you can give individual instruction when they're first learning. So we struggled a little bit with that, and then I got one lady to come and another lady to come, and it really, I don't think that was quite what they wanted to do, the ones that I did bring up here. But then one day, Burl Newsom was new to our quilting group at First Baptist Church, and she said, I think I'd like to go with you up to Women at the Well. And I'd probably been coming about a year before she came. So she came, and she absolutely loved it. We volunteer our time, but we can go home with so much more. The ladies it's just inspiring to see them. And I've been here 3 years, and so it's a 15-month program. So I've got to see ladies that come in, and they're just they're just at their lowest point. And then we get to see them grow, and they grow in the Lord, and they get saved, and it's just such a blessing. And we go to these graduations. Every time they have a graduation, it's hard to sit there during a graduation and not just cry the whole time, because we've seen where they came from and how they've blossomed and how they've grown. And Julie's one right here that I got to see her graduate, and it's just really a blessing to me and to the other ladies that volunteer. And then Burl, she brought her neighbor, and then I had Leanne Bergham. Then I had another lady from First Baptist, and she just, out of the blue, it wasn't somebody that I knew real well, and she said, "Miss Pattie, I would like to go up to Women at the Well." And I said, "Okay, let me call Robin and see if it's okay." And so Robin said, "Sure," and she came, and she's just been wonderful. So now there's 4 of us that come, and we all feel, I think we pretty much all feel the same way. We just feel blessed each and every week that we come up here and see how these ladies are growing. They just grow so much spiritually, and it's just a blessing.
And the program, the sewing program has grown.
Yes.
Since you've started. I mean,
yes. When I first came, we were sewing in the dining hall at the big house. We were up there, and they would just finish eating, and I would come right after lunch, and we'd clear all the tables off, put the machines up, and we were sewing in the dining room. And then we moved down to this one of the houses that's on the property, and how this quilt retreat got started is I took Miss Robin last July on a quilt retreat, and she came home and she said, "I think we could do that. I think we could do that at the house. I think we could." And so that's how it started. And it took about 6 months from start to finish, and we opened up the retreat in January, and we've just been so excited over that. So I encourage anybody that's got a ladies group at church, or a quilt group, or a scrapbooking group, to come and check it out. It's just really so relaxing. It's in the country, and it's just a great time. And they're fixing food for us, and that's wonderful too. So I haven't had that in a long time. I've been retreating for 30 years at least, and started out with they fix the food, but then that retreat closed down, and we really haven't had one since that has prepared the food. We've got some great cooks in our group, so we can cook too, but it's just nice not to have to get everything together and coordinate the food part.
Yeah, we have 2 of our interns that have taken that on to do the menus and prepare the food, and they're doing such a great job, Sherry and Aaron. And the ladies help keep the retreat house clean. And so it's a group effort for all the ladies at Women at the Well. And then the first retreat we had was actually Miss Pattie's group, so she was the first one. Her group was here. I think there was, nine ladies here. So we had a full house because we can take 9. And a couple of the nights, some of our students came down and shared their testimonies.
Yes. And all the ladies in our group, I didn't know if they would want somebody to come every night. And they said, "Oh, somebody coming tonight to give their testimony?" And it was just, the ladies that came with me were so inspired. They just, they're still talking about it. They're still talking about it.
Yeah.
And
we could feel
it was really great.
They loved us.
They did.
They were really sweet to our ladies that were here, and supportive of what we're trying to do here. And everything from the retreat center goes to the ministry. It's 40 right now. It's $40 a night per person, and in July it'll go up to $50. But that's our introductory, is the $40, and then we charge extra for the food. But all of that goes to the ministry. So it's a way for us to make money to support Women at the Well. And it didn't take a whole lot to fix this house up like we wanted it. As Miss Pattie donated some things, and other people donated things, so we got it done. And
I have to say one more thing about the retreat center. All the ladies came down here and helped at different times.
Yes.
But there's two ladies, Erin and Sherry, that it was unbelievable what these ladies did. They painted. Everything's been painted. It's just all clean and fresh. And it just looks amazing. We're just so proud of it.
Yeah.
And be glad to show you anytime you want to come and see the center. Give you a tour.
Yeah. If you're interested in booking with us for a retreat, just give Women at the Well a call. Or if you're on Facebook and following our YouTube, you can comment there. We'll get back with you on that. All of the beds have quilts on them that people have donated. That was done as well, and so that just helped us get started. But you know what, Pattie, I was just thinking as you were talking, we knew you way before the pandemic. Many years ago, your group at First Baptist in Cleveland made a quilt for every one of our ladies. A throw or a bit.
I think we made about 21 quilts.
Yeah.
And you know what was so interesting? We put the quilts out and we just let the ladies go over and choose which one they wanted. And so many of the ladies, Julie's shaking her head here, she got one of the quilts.
Yeah.
So many of the ladies didn't want one for themselves. They wanted one for their children or for their mother or for someone else in their family. But I think we made 21 quilts.
Yep.
And they were all given out. And that was done several years ago.
Yeah, you were in the main building then. Can't remember, but Katie was a student at that time. Yes. And then a little later on, it might have been after the pandemic time, I'm not sure exactly, but you had all of us down and you set up in the commons room area at Cleveland First Baptist, and the ladies, the women in your group brought their machines. Yes. And each lady took one of our ladies and made a square for a quilt. And then we put that quilt together, or they put the quilt together, and had it quilted for us. And we sold it. But it was beautiful. And so that was just really how friendships were made. That's how Miss Burrow got to know about us. And so.
And probably Miss Cora too.
Yeah.
But that was such a good experience for them to have one-on-one. You can just do so much when you have one-on-one, but it's hard to do that. It's hard to have enough volunteers. But we had our whole group.
It was a big group.
Everybody came, so there wasn't a single person that didn't have somebody right with them.
Yeah, so that was really good. And there's just something about an older lady, more mature lady, one that is, knows the Lord, and to come alongside one of our ladies who's struggling, who might not feel like they measure up or whatever, but that person is willing to spend their time to sit down beside them and encourage them. That means so much to our ladies.
Well, and it's really encouraging to us to see these young ladies that want to quilt. They want to learn how, and that's really, we want them to have fun. We want them to learn, and we want them to enjoy it, and have a sense of accomplishment.
Right. Yes. They make, really one of the first things that they make is a makeup bag. And they are usually it's a makeup bag, first item that they finish. And they are so proud of that product. And they have to put a zipper in it and a lot of things. So it's really not that easy. No. So, but they first learn to sew a straight line, 1/4-inch seam.
Yes.
They tell us that all the time. 1/4-inch seam. Well, we're about to run out of time. And as you were talking, Miss Pattie, I was just thinking about how our lives are like a quilt, pieced together.
Yes.
And so the Lord has brought you all into our quilt. And so we just make one big, beautiful quilt up here at Women at the Well. And so thankful to have you and your ladies come every week and show us how much you care about us and how much you love the Lord. That's so evident. So, well, we thank you for listening in today at Hope from the Well. And remember, if you have Jesus, you always have hope.